preceding the opening of the show, Reveals Attention by Adeline de Monseignat. This is a show that we've been working on for the last 7 months, and I have to say I'm very, very, very happy, thrilled that we can finally open it to you tonight. So I would like to thank Adeline and Michael for so kindly being there tonight and giving us 2 talks. So I'm going to introduce quickly Adeline for those who don't know her yet. So Adeline is from Monaco, and she has done her BA in Language and Culture at UCL, and she is currently undertaking her Master in Fine Art at the City and Guild of London. She has also attended the Slade School of Fine Art in London and the Parsons New School in New York. And she has been exhibited in London, Monaco, Berlin, New York, and tonight, Falls York. Dr. Michael White, for those who don't know him, is a senior lecturer at York University in the history of art department, and he's working chiefly in the interwar and avant-garde, constructivism, I can't say that in English, Dada and Surrealism. He kindly agreed to give us a talk on the grid tonight. So, no blah blah from myself. I'm just quickly going to say a big thank you to my team, because I won't have any other public time to say it tonight. But we have an amazing team of 10 people who's been helping this week, and they've been working day and night. And when I say day and night, it's day and night. And so I'm very proud of them. I forgot to say that I'm Samia, Calbayrac, and the curator of the exhibition. And I'll leave you with Adeline.
Good evening, everyone. For those who don't know me yet, my name is Adeline de Monseignat, the artist responsible for all the mess created in the gallery for the past 7 days. First of all, I'd like to thank you all for coming tonight for this talk, which I hope will add an interesting perspective and background to the exhibition we have set up for you with Mademoiselle Samia Calbayrac, the great curator of this show, her fantastic team of the Norman Ria Gallery, my dear assistants, Annelise Clark and Blanche Fitzgerald, and all of this under the watchful eye of Dr. John Isitt, Provost of Langworth College and patron of the gallery. The pieces you will get to see and interact with tonight are the result of 8 months of work, and this little presentation I have prepared for you should hopefully give you a better understanding of the origin of all of my crazy ideas and inspirations. My interest in the practice of art making lies in the one of leaving a mark, leaving something behind. The X is thus first and foremost the sign that I was here. However, the X is also the symbol of an encounter, one between the human being and the work of art, where an ongoing constant dialogue enables things to move forward. The X is the space in between that Marcel Duchamp mentions when he says that art is not what we see, it is in the space in between. It is thus clear that the work of art is the mediator between the artist's intention and the viewer's experience. I have transcribed my interest in my practice onto this diagram, which I have built the way the body itself is built. The heart as my core motivation of leaving a mark through the experience of art. The bone as an everlasting dialogue between the human being and the work of art. The brain in constant search for meaning. The flesh facing issues of the senses and gender. The skin as my intention to make the viewer's skin crawl when interacting with my work. And last but not least, the outer layer of it all, which relates to the inescapable condition of the vulnerability of the body. Humor, just like art, also stands in the spaces between. My awareness of humor was born from my interest in tensions. It is after acknowledging its presence through popular culture that I realized that humor is that gap between truth and the exaggerated. And wherever lays a gap, lays a tension. Tensions are indeed what we'll be talking about tonight. To me, the experience of art making is first and foremost one of a great release of tension. Exhibiting my work is all about revealing that tension, exposing myself, but also exposing yourself. as the viewer is also to be involved in the process of engaging with the art. So the question I kept on asking myself was, how exactly does an artist manage to attract attention through that process of revealing attention? The piercing screech of the raw canvas ripping under the pressure of his knife emerges from the opening now visible to the eye. No, this is not Lucio Fontana I'm referring to, but John Berger, during the first seconds of his series Ways of Seeing, which aired on BBC in the 70s, a series that aimed at raising questions about traditional Western cultural aesthetics. This opening act of the opening was Berger's way to warm up his audience, break the ice, and grab their attention. Opening is also a verb of action. To me, art is an experience where the viewer, just like the artist, is not to be passive, but rather active. Art is an act, it is a choice. Choosing to engage with the artwork is also a choice to experience life through the artist, but through your own senses. The act of the cut is an exhilarating and highly sensorial process, when a strong release of tension comes into play. Tensions have a crucial role in the creative process of art making. Sculptor Henry Moore once declared, it is a mistake for a sculptor or a painter to speak or write very often about his work. It releases the tension needed for his work. It is thus clear that tensions are at the origin of the release of ideas, the beginning of art making. It all starts with a tension. When John Berger decided to open his series about painting by literally opening a painting, the way a theatre stage opened its curtains, there doesn't seem to be the shadow of a doubt that opening does indeed suggest the presence of a beginning. In this case, the opening is a beginning. In Lucio Fontana's case, the act of the opening was an act of a new beginning. Artipore and Leader was the first one to liberate the 2D surface by allowing it to breathe into a three-dimensional space. The pressure Fontana applied on the raw fabric of the canvas enabled an opening to appear. If during those days, in the 60s, most people didn't consider Fontana's act as anything significant, it is certainly viewed today, in retrospect, as the moment where painting had taken on a whole new meaning, a crucial moment for history of art. While thinking of the act of the cut as a release of tension, I cannot help but think of the way Louis Buñuel must have felt while slicing that eye open in Le Chien Andalou, still today considered one of the most shocking, yet eye-opening, scenes in cinematography. The absurdity of Buñuel's scenario, along with the visual image of repulsive substance coming out of a body part, also reminded me of an urban legend I was once told as a child. The story suggested the possibility for spiders to lay eggs on the human skin. So much so that one day, some woman's cheeks swelled up to the point of sudden eruption, where hundreds of thousands of spider eggs emerged from her facial wound. Even though a pure myth, both the image and the story have stuck with me ever since. In 2010, I made my own act of a cut, through paper over cracks, which I have recreated for the Norman Ria Gallery. The title I have chosen for this wall installation makes reference to secrets that always end up emerging and exposing themselves to the outside world, no matter how many layers of paper one tries to put over the cracks to avoid facing the truth. At the time, I projected the commonly known fear of the uninspired artist's blank canvas, onto the bare and cold wall of my studio. I soon came up with an absurd scenario where the dead white wall would suddenly become alive and fertile. Spheres of all sizes growing inside the skin of the wall the way ideas grow inside the artist's mind. Soon enough, the built-up tension becomes visible to the eye. The wall is now like a fully pregnant abdomen waiting for its incision. In one sharp and concise surgical gesture, I slit the multiple layers of fabric and paper open, like the multiple layers of the skin, with the feeling of revealing and releasing a tension, letting the inner and the outer world meet. As far as I'm concerned, I found the act of the cut violently exciting, a great feeling of relief as this gesture is fast and satisfactory.